Ringside Nation, back for part 2. Comment, like, subscribe. We're going to go right into the prelims and early prelims of UFC 303. This is part 2 of the video, and we'll get right into it. We won't waste any time. On your screen are our picks, and on your screen is the first fight. Joe Pyfer against Marc-Andre Barriault. Now, Joe Pyfer, horrible performance against Jack Hermanson in his last fight. Horrible. Not good for your stock, especially when you're going on Joe Rogan's podcast talking like you're going to be champ one day. You can't lose in that fashion, in my opinion. And then a horrible display for Marc-Andre Barriault in UFC Canada. And you watch this fight, and it's like those names side by side excites you because they're on the prelims. But it excites me a little less when I see Joe Pyfer minus 300 and Joe Pyfer Doc lock of the card. So it makes you wonder, is the curse still here or is the curse broken? And it's a ringer from the Ring Boys. So let's hit that bell and Doc, tell me why you took him as you lock.
Yeah, I want to apologize in advance for taking Joe Pyfer since he's one of our ringers here. But you know, Joe Pyfer, I believe his last fight he had a loss, unexpected derailment to his win streak. But he's such a good fighter. He's well rounded. He has such power in his hands. And Marc-Andre Barriault leaves his chin up, and we can, unlike Chris Curtis, Joe Pyfer will be able to take that chin off. So that's what I'm expecting, that the hands of Joe Pyfer will win this fight. Barriault will try to do a little bit of wrestling, but Joe Pyfer has the perfect defense for that, in my opinion. And Pyfer is hungry. He's tasted defeat. He's motivated. And we're going to see Pyfer win this one. If he loses, it's on me. He can't watch this podcast ahead of time.
No, I couldn't agree with you more. I just don't think Barriault has the gas tank. I think Pyfer is going to come in a little bit more composed, or at least he should. Has the height advantage, has the reach advantage. I get it's only by an inch, but sometimes that's all you need. And especially when you're a fighter of that magnitude, trying to make your way up the middleweight rankings, or getting back into the swing of things at that young age and that hairline, you got to make some noise. You're not gonna stick around for long. So. Ringer from the Ring Boys, Joe Pyfer, lock of the card. And onto my lock of the card, my boy Andre Touchy-Feely, and another ringer for the Ring Boys. I get he got knocked the hell out by Dan 50K Ige in his last fight. I get he knocked out Lucas Almeida after his dog died and, the unfortunate events in his life. But Andre Touchy-Feely loses, wins. Like, just basically his whole career. And he's slated for a win here. I don't see Cub Swanson's, 40-year-old Heine coming into this, outclassing Andre Touchy-Feely. I think it might be a little difficult to finish Cub Swanson because he's a tough son of a gun. But, man, Andre's here. Andre's a fan favorite, and I think Andre's a really good bet at minus, 250 at the moment. So it's just my honest thoughts, Doc.
Who knew that you were such a math guy, following little patterns here? You can just find it all whenever you need to.
Went to college for engineering.
I think Cub Swanson had a great win in his last fight. It was an unexpected win, but the age is what's given me. I'm not sure that he can keep on doing this for very long. Is what I'm trying to say. And Andre Feely did have a really good performance 2 fights ago, did get knocked out by Dan Ige 1 fight ago. It happens. But Andre Feely, those 2 fights ago, that's what's in my memory. A little bit of recency bias, but he does have really good hands. He was a big prospect coming up early, had a few losses in the middle of his career, seems to have worked on a lot of things in the meantime. He's motivated to do well. I think Cub Swanson, he's close to his swan song, almost done. But I thought you would like that, man.
No, that was good. I'm trying not to laugh. Continue with the show.
Just thinking really about it on the spot. Anyway, Andre Feely, I will not be betting this one because it can go either way. But it should be an exciting fight. Cub Swanson, great UFC career. He keeps winning. He should keep going. But I think that with a loss, he can be a great coach.
I'm betting this one, and I'm two-legging it. You know with who?
I guess the next fight.
Jan was back. Jan is an underdog fighting Charles Jourdain. Like, how can you not take Jan Siva as an underdog and just ring the bell because we're all doing it?
Yeah, this is. You go first.
Like, Charles Jourdain, what do they call him? Charles Air Jourdain? Yeah, just sit down. After that horrible performance back in January against Sean Woodson, you haven't fought in 6 months, so a little ring rust. I don't know what you've been doing outside the ring. Don't know, one, how he's the favorite. And, like, I get that Jan Siva is not as tall as he is. He may not be as fast as he is. But do you see the power in his hands from his previous fights? Like, I mean, come on. Like, how does this guy come in and not drop him? And he's Brazilian, and he has a better ground game than Charles Jourdain, in my opinion, at least from doing the research. Like, I get they're both strikers, and this is going to be on the feet. But if we get in the position where it's in the clinch and on the cage, and we need to sway the judges, I don't know how Jan Siva is just the underdog. It makes no sense to me. Doc, try to make sense of it for me, please. Please.
I can't. And the Fighting Nerds gym has been making big moves in the UFC lately. They're an exciting group of people, and as Fighting Nerds, they research how to win, and they win. So that's why I'm taking Jan Silva. We've only seen him fight against Weston Wilson, super tall guy, but was able to knock him out, even though he didn't have the reach advantage or the height advantage. Here, same height, same reach, or maybe 1 inch difference in the height there. But Jan Silva, just a smarter fighter from what we've seen so far. And Charles Jourdain is an okay fighter, in my opinion. So this is a no-brainer, I think. If he loses, then we'll see why he was an underdog. But I don't know what Vegas is thinking about here.
I agree with you more. That's all I have to say. My piece on that. Brazil over Canada, especially in the MMA realm. Did you not watch what happened in January? Peyton Talbot, minus 1,600, one of the highest lines all year. This is like Bo Nickel-like of odds. So if you put $1 on this, or I don't know what you're doing. Peyton Talbot actually made a video, posted on Twitter or YouTube, wherever, and explained how to beat him as a fighter. And just said, like, yeah, you got to have a good ground game. You don't have a good ground game. You got to beat me on the feet. You're not going to beat me on the feet. And just like, oh my God, it was classic. Giannis Kamori losing his last fight against William Gomis. A little French on French violence there. So hopefully, we won't see any of you guys in Paris. Hopefully the good fighters come out in Paris and not actors at Cyril Gane. But I mean, do we really need to ring the bell for Peyton Talbot? Like, why did we make this fight? And 2, why would you go against it? Ring the bell.
We're ringing the bell. And, I said that the first crazy pick from our card was when Artie picked against Diego Lopez. The second crazy pick is Artie not picking Peyton Talbot as his lock of the card. We should have grown to expect that.
I don't
know, maybe.
I want you to know, before he texted me behind the scenes, he's like, yo, put Peyton Talbot as my lock of the card. I'm like, no, I'm not doing that. He's like, if Doc does it, are we putting anything against it? I was like, maybe. We'll have to talk about it. But he did make a joke behind the scenes to me. I wanted you to know. Sorry to cut you off. Go ahead.
Great minds think alike. Anyways, this fight, nothing to watch here. Peyton Talbot, up-and-coming prospect, put on a great performance last time. He needs to get the finish here. It's a good fight for him because it should add to the finish numbers for him. If he doesn't finish, it's a mistake. It's a mistake. So we'll see how this goes. Maybe take him into the second round. Play with your food a little bit. But Peyton Talbot here, he's a special guy. So
I agree. I think he's going to be a prospect for the bantamweight division. Maybe see him make some noise as he climbs up the ranks. But you don't do that if you don't finish your dinner. You don't do that if you don't finish your dinner. That's the prelims. We'll get right into the early prelims. Michelle Waterson Gomez, whatever. People always make fun of me for that one. Fighting Jillian Robertson. Jillian Robertson, one of the only Canadian fighters I respect, and for that reason, let's give her a bell. Michelle Waterson Gomez and Jillian Robertson. This is, I like to call her baby Jazz DeVicious. And after what we watched her do to Polyana Viana, it's like, how do you go any other way? Like, I get Michelle's, almost pushing 40. Yeah, she has more experience. Yeah, she, is on a 2-fight losing streak and has fought people or women who have been actually 3-fight losing streak, and she might just be out on the way out. 4-fight losing streak, right? I don't remember.
Yeah, she honestly she hasn't won in a while. But yeah, continue.
3 years. 3 years. Hasn't won in 3 years. Could this be the retirement party? I think so. Baby Jazz Vicious by TKO. Calling it now. Doc, go ahead.
Yeah, I've been expecting Michelle Waterson to retire for a while now. I think that she wants to prove that she can still compete. Unfortunately, she's getting matched up against people that on paper outclass her. And Jillian Robertson, someone that I didn't respect before, but I do respect a lot after her last performance. Just great ground game. I don't know. She does have some hands too, but that ground game versus Michelle Waterson's karate style is it's just like the karate style cannot win here. And the age difference, all this put together, I think it's great that what Michelle Waterson has done for the sport, but similar to Tony Ferguson, it's kind of time to go. You know, you haven't won in 3 years. You're doing good things for the sport, but you're not helping yourself, and you have a family. And well, I'll watch this fight. You know, I think she's fun to watch. I think the technique is great, but Jillian Robertson, she's turning her career around, in my opinion.
At 29 years old, we'll see if she can retire to the 38-year-old karate hottie. And keeping the theme of age, Andrei Arlovsky at 45 years old fighting Martine Boudet. I'm glad we got a heavyweight fight. I hope they go out swinging, especially after what happened to Andrei Arlovsky in his last fight against Waldo Cortez Acosta, and he just made him a mockery. Look, I get the guy's a legend. I get he's on a 3-fight losing streak. I get, he's trying to make some noise. But what I don't get is how Martine Boudet is only minus 260. I get he lost to Shamil Gaziev. I think he finishes Andre. I genuinely do. I don't know why. I don't know what. I'm gonna take a hot take. I don't care. But I think Martine Boudet has what it takes. Not early. He'll finish him second round. To finish Andrei Arlovsky will be a big thing for him. And I think people are underlooking this one. And I already took Andrei Arlovsky, and I'm sure Doc thought about it. So I'll let you take it right away.
I also took Andrei Arlovsky.
Oh, did you?
To be clear. Yes. Because
I didn't see that.
Even though I really like Martine Boudet, but I think that last fight put a lot of doubt. And if this keeps going, the later it goes, Boudet doesn't have the gas tank. And although Arlovsky is older, he's more experienced. He's been making the walk so often that his cardio has to be good, and it always is good. I get that he's on a losing streak, but before that losing streak, he was on like a 5-fight winning streak, reinventing his career, and it was inspiring. He still looks good. And Waldo Cortez, that fight was trash, but I don't know. Arlovsky has the ability to do exactly what Gaziev did to Boudet, which is piece him up, take him into deep waters, and make sure that Budai's gas tank runs out. So he has the perfect setup to beat Boudet. So we'll see where it goes from here. I don't think that Boudet winning here would mean much again because Arlovsky is so old, kind of on the way out. And I think Boudet was a great prospect from what we saw before this last fight. And I think overall, seeing Arlovsky win again, it would just be great to see. So the minus 265, you said that you think it's not enough. I think it's too much against a legend like Arlovsky that has been fighting pretty decently well. That's it.
We'll just have to wait and see. I wouldn't hate to see Andre, as some like to call him, the GOAT, Arlovsky. But we'll have to wait and see. I want more heavyweight fights, honestly. I want to see big knockouts. And I hope someone just gets finished. I hope we don't see a decision in that one. But I feel like we potentially definitely could. Somewhere I don't think we'll see a decision is flyweight fight with Ray Saruya versus Carlos Hernandez. And Ray Saruya, man, this guy is 22 years old. He's going to be a big prospect, and he's going to be a ringer for the Ring Boys. I will say his picture was like in black and white. I saw somewhere. And it just looks like he's a character in a fighting video game that you like haven't unlocked. So you don't know much about him. You just know he's nasty and he's like Carlos Hernandez is like 10 levels less than him and just somehow like warped through the floor in a video game and got it in a glitch and got himself a boss fight to get here. But Ray Saruya, we're going to see if he's legit. It's a hard one for me to pronounce, Doc. Like Tatsuro Taira, like, yeah, I can get down with that. Ray Saruya, I need to work on that one. But minus 525, 22 years old. He's going to have a gas tank. I hope he has what it takes to finish Carlos Hernandez. Doc?
No, I like watching Carlos Hernandez fight, but yeah, as Artie was telling us behind the scenes, a lot of these Asian fighters are learning from people like Tatsuro Taira, who put on a tremendous performance in his last fight. So the blueprint is there for how to beat Carlos Hernandez. I think that he is a really good fighter, in my opinion, but it's going to be too much to overcome another Japanese fighter.
It's also funny that he fought Tatsuro Taira last. And now they're giving him Ray Saruya. It's like
they're just passing him along.
Let the brother get a chance. To open the card, we got Ricky Simón against Vinicius Oliveira. I'm personally shocked at the odds at this one, especially after that powerful knee from Vinicius Oliveira. That knockout was disgusting. And Ricky Simón, man, he gave his all against Mario Bautista, and he hung in there, got to the decision. I get it was a unanimous decision. I get, he at some points showed a little bit of light. Kind of didn't really stand a chance. Obviously, he was doubled up on strikes, but he gave Mario a run for his money in the early on, and I think he has what it takes to outmuscle or outbeat Vinicius Oliveira, but he has to do it by decision. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Vinicius is going to put him on the mat. Doc?
I'm the only one taking Ricky Simón, and I'm big on the Ricky Simón train. His wrestling, I think, is really, really good. And Vinicius Oliveira is not going to be able to do much from his back, in my opinion. So let's see Ricky Simón start off this fight card with a bang, maybe get a nice little submission win. Who knows? I'm glad that this is what's starting off the early prelims. People need to tune into this fight. These are two exciting fighters. Ricky Simón, he at one point I thought had a chance to at least contend for the title. I know he fought Song Yadong on a main event. But really recently. So he's right there. Vinicius Oliveira, exciting fighter as well, but not as exciting when he's on the mat. And I think Ricky Simón will be able to take him there. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but let's get this win.
I hope you're wrong. I want to see a nice flying knee knockout again. That was insane what he did. That was insane. That might be one of my biggest or favorite knockouts of the year. We'll see on the award show. But yeah, that's the fights. That's UFC 303. Thanks, Conor McGregor, for ruining everyone's lives. Doc, thank you for being here and supporting me and talking about these fights and making my life. And comment, like, subscribe. We do this for you guys, by the common man, for the common man. And Doc, anything else before we sign off and win money over the weekend? Or what?
Yeah, last thing. Let us know what you guys think about this format. We're trying to shorten up the videos, make them a little bit more accessible. I think that throwing an hour-long video in at one time makes it a little bit hard to reach the end, but I'm hoping, or we're all hoping that kind of throwing more content at you guys will lead to improvements in our videos. Please let us know how we can get better. We really appreciate it. Even if it's negative, just let us know, please.
Hate is love too. That's what I always say. Hate is love too. That's all I gotta say. I'll say one more thing. All right, no, I gotta wait. I gotta wait for you on Steel. I'm sorry. That's gonna be all from us. Peace.
Take care.